Hi, I'm Gary Smith. Today is Wednesday, June the 14th, 2023. For my public history discussion thread, I'm going to talk about the shot heard round the world at the battles of Lexington and Concord. Right now I'm at Lexington Green, where the first shots of the Revolutionary War were fired. At dawn on April 19, 1775, 700 British regulars under the command of British Lieutenant Colonel Francis Smith approached the outer edges of Lexington, Massachusetts, which is where I am right now. The British troops had set out from Boston the night before en route to Concord. Concord is 6 miles in this direction. The Redcoats' mission was to destroy a Patriot military storage site at Concord. The Redcoat operation was meant to be secret, but as soon as the British troops departed Boston, riders such as Paul Revere had alerted the countryside, and now 70 Minutemen had assembled here at Lexington Green under the command of Patriot Commander Captain John Parker. A monument to Captain Parker is right here. Captain Parker and his soldiers were waiting for the Redcoats to appear. When the Redcoats showed up, a British officer rode forward and ordered the Minutemen to disperse. The Minutemen began to move aside in compliance, but suddenly a shot rang out. History doesn't record which side fired the single shot, but it was definitely a shot that was heard around the world. Firing began and 8 Patriots lay dead or dying and 10 had been wounded. The Redcoats regrouped and moved on to Concord. When the Redcoats reached Concord, 6 miles away, they burned or tossed into the village pond military stores the Patriots had failed to move. The Patriots had gotten a warning of the search for military supplies, had already moved most of the military items the British troops were searching for. News of the bloodshed at Lexington swept far and wide, and Patriot militiamen began moving toward Concord. At a bridge near Concord, fighting began between the militiamen and a British light infantry company guarding the bridge, which resulted in British casualties. The Redcoats suffered 3 dead and 8 wounded. Now blood had been shed by both sides. In Concord, the British commander, Lieutenant Colonel Smith, ordered the British troops to pull out of Concord and return to Boston. But as they retreated, Patriot militiamen fired at the Redcoats from behind trees, stone fences, and wherever cover was available. The Redcoats marched back from Concord to Lexington, where they linked up with a relief column with 1,100 British troops that had arrived from Boston. They linked up with the fresh British troops here. Even with these fresh troops, the British continued to suffer casualties as they retreated from Lexington back to Boston. Of the 1,800 British troops engaged in combat that day, 273 Redcoats were killed, wounded, or missing. The Patriots had lost 95. Thus began a civil war that would last for 8 years until 1783. Public history is well done at Lexington and Concord. This morning, my wife Betty and I were in Concord visiting battle sites. We were at the Old North Bridge that crossed the Concord River. 3 British soldiers were killed there and are buried close to where they died. I have a visitor's map, which I got at one of the public history locations this morning, and the number of public history sites are extensive, as you can see here. Here's Lexington Green, where we are now, and Concord is here. As we were driving around the various sites this morning, there were just a number of tourists that were visiting. Also, we saw a school bus filled with kids that were visiting the battlefields. Thank you very much.